large turnout for the last spaghetti dinner of over 400 people. The registration for summer day camps is taking place now. Contact Parks and Recs for more information. Art submitted something while he's away. The Hess Hathaway Board met on 5/9 at the park. The contract has been signed regarding the historical barn renovation, and all is on track to hopefully finish in October of 2019. He's saying thanks to all who came out to the event at the park the last few weeks. Once again, summer camp is going on for hiring, and the enrollment is doing very well. So if you have any other concerns, please contact Parks and Rec. Thank you.
Karen.
This past Thursday, myself, as a representative of Waterford Township, and Marie, the director of the Chamber of Commerce, hosted a Tech 248 event at the Oakland County Airport. It is the 6th Tech 248 event that we have hosted, the Northwest District. We had a speaker come and talk about advancements in artificial intelligence, and over 100 people attended, techies. But this, again, was positive visibility for Waterford to get these people to come into our community and see what we have to offer. Also on May 11th, I participated in the Riverwalk cleanup along with Gary and Kim. Our former clerk, Sue Camilleri, had organized this, and it was nice to see everybody that came out to clean up the Riverwalk. So if you get a chance, go check it out.
Wonderful. And like I said, 407 poems, but Joan, I got to tell you this. I'm working on my poem for next year. It starts out 2468. Once again, my poem's late. That's as far as I am right now, but I am working on my poem for next year. I promise I will get one done. But I have to get it in on time or I'll be late. Okay, after introduction, ordinance 2019-005, marijuana established prohibition ordinance.
I make a motion to introduce the ordinance number 2019-005, marijuana establishment prohibition ordinance to amend Article 1 in Chapter 10 of the Waterford Charter Township Code to prohibit marijuana establishments in the township pursuant to the Michigan Regulation and Taxation of Marijuana Act.
I will support.
Any further discussion on this? Okay, roll call vote.
Birch.
Yes.
Bartolotta.
Yes.
Markey, yes. Thomas.
Yes.
Wall.
Yes.
Joliet.
Yes.
Okay, and old business up for possible adoption, ordinance number 2019-004, fireworks display ordinance amendment.
I make a motion to accept the ordinance number 2019-004 to amend the Waterford Charter Township Code regarding the ignition, discharge, and use of consumer fireworks to conform to amendments of the State of Michigan Fireworks Safety Act, statute MCL 28.457.
Support. As Tim just read this will be per state law. This isn't anything the township going above and beyond. This is a match, the revised law that they just did this year. Any further discussion? Okay, roll call vote.
Bartolotta.
Yes.
Birch.
Yes.
Joliet.
Yes.
Wall.
Yes.
Thomas.
Yes.
Markey, yes.
Okay, under new business, we got the Wilmot Relief Drain 2019 through 2021 assessment roll.
I support.
Any further discussion on this? Everybody sees in the map there's the city of Elizabeth Lake Road, the airport road, where the Wilmot Drain comes through there. Okay, roll call vote.
Birch.
Yes.
Joliet.
Yes.
Wall.
Yes.
Thomas.
Yes.
Markey, yes. Bartolotta.
Yes. Okay. Here's the resolution I referred to earlier to declare May 12th through 18, 2019, Police Week in the Charter Township of Waterford.
you want me to read that?
Why, sure.
Okay. The resolution to declare May 12th through 18th, 2019 Police Week in the Charter Township of Waterford, Michigan. Whereas in 1962, President John F. Kennedy proclaimed May 15th as National Peace Officers Memorial Day, and the calendar week in which May 15th falls as National Police Week. Established by a joint resolution of Congress in 1962, National Police Week pays special recognition to those law enforcement officers who have lost their lives in the line of duty for the safety and protection of others. And whereas there are more than 800,000 law enforcement officers serving in communities across the United States, including the approximately 17,000 full-time uniformed police officers in Michigan, and whereas members of law enforcement deserve the appreciation and respect of the people of municipalities, Michigan, for the merit, dignity, bravery, and reliability they exhibit each and every day. We must also honor the sacrifices made by their families of police officers, as each day they must face constant fear as their loved one works to protect us. And whereas in 2018 alone, 163 law enforcement officers were killed and many, many more assaulted in the line of duty across the country. The names of these dedicated police servants who made the ultimate sacrifice are engraved in the walls of the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial in Washington, D.C. And whereas Michigan's fallen officers will never be forgotten, nor will their service to their respective communities. By choosing to commit themselves to law enforcement, these brave individuals answered the call for service and willingly put their lives in jeopardy. We commend them for recognizing service as a noble career and protecting the public safety, and also all of those who are serving without incident to date. And whereas the Charter Township of Waterford, Michigan, and all Michigan citizens have turned to members of law enforcement for assistance and support in times of distress, whether they are coping with a personal crisis or struggling through civil disorder or a natural disaster. Our communities rely on these courageous individuals when it is difficult to stand on our own, and we are indebted to the unwavering public service of our local and state police. We are indeed fortunate and grateful for the contributions of law enforcement officers to the people of this state. Now therefore be it resolved that the members of this Board of Trustees declare May 12th through the 18th, 2019 as Police Week in the Charter Township of Waterford, Michigan. We publicly salute the service of law enforcement officers in our community, as well as those of our state and nation, and honor police who place their lives on the line for the safety and security of their communities.
Make a motion to support a resolution to declare May 12th through 18, 2019 Police Week in the Charter Township of Waterford.
Support. Any further discussion on that?
I'd just like to say one thing, they should have first responders read this thing, and I'm thinking about all the other first responders, but this is just for the police, but I'd like to see first responders.
They can come up with one, but again, like I said, this is something that President Kennedy brought forward in 1962. And, you know, like I said, yeah, it's. I will say this, in recent years, the way police officers have been perceived nationwide and where it's acceptable for them to die in the line of duty and stuff, Waterford loves their police department. They do. They're very well respected. They're treated with respect and dignity as all law enforcement officers should. It's a tough job, and as time goes on, it gets tougher, but I have to commend the men and women of our police department do a wonderful job every day, and we are getting one of the top 10 safest communities in the state of Michigan because of them, so it's a great thing. Anybody else? Every time we clap, the fire alarm goes off, John. Anybody else have anything to say? Okay, roll call vote.
Birch.
Yes.
Joliet.
Yes.
Markey, yes. Wall.
Yes.
Thomas.
Yes.
Martelotto.
Yes.
Okay, next up we have a proclamation. ALS Awareness Month is May 2019.
I'll make a motion to adopt the proclamation for ALS Awareness Month as of May 2019.
Support.
Any further discussion on that? Would somebody like to read this proclamation? Okay.
Oh boy. Amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, known by many as Lou Gehrig's disease, is a progressive fatal neurodegenerative disease that attacks more nerve cells in the brain and spinal cord, making even the most simple movements, including walking, speaking, gesturing, nearly impossible. And whereas approximately 30,000 individuals in the United States are afflicted with ALS at any given time, with 5,000 new cases appearing each year. And whereas approximately 15 new cases of ALS are diagnosed every day, with a person losing their battle with this disease every 90 minutes. Whereas ALS strikes people regardless of race, sex, age, or ethnicity, and whereas finding the causes of and the cure for ALS will prevent the disease from robbing hundreds of thousands of Americans of their dignity and lives, and whereas aggressive treatment of the symptoms of ALS can extend the lives of those living with the disease, and whereas raising public awareness of this disease will facilitate the discovery of a cure, bring much needed dollars for support and services for families in Michigan in dealing with ALS. Now, and therefore, be it resolved that the Charter Township of Waterford Board of Trustees does hereby proclaim the month of May 2019 as ALS Awareness Month.
Okay. Does anybody have any further comment on this? And again, like I said, these numbers are staggering, and it's strictly by history and whatnot, but obviously Lou Gehrig was one of the greatest baseball players to ever play the game of baseball. And his streak, unfortunately, ended right here at Briggs Stadium in Detroit, Michigan. And within, I think, 14 months, he was dead. So it's just, it's good that he's recognized, his name's associated with it. It's a horrible, horrible disease. And like I said, just hopefully someday they can find a cure to this, because like I said, the numbers here are staggering. Anybody else? Okay. Roll call vote.
Bartolini.
Yes.
Birch. Yes. Joliet.
Yes.
Markey. Yes. Thomas.
Yes.
Wall.
Yes. Next, we have DPW SCADA system upgrades.
Make a motion to approve DPW SCADA system upgrade. I'm looking for the dollar amount on here. There's $121,551.30.
That's for the last 3 years. The total for 2019 is $111,665 for 2019. Oh, hi, Russ. Hi, Russ. Can we ask you a couple questions?
Absolutely.
Okay. So I think this was originally approved,
The original approval was what, 332,135?
yes.
To date, expenditures have been, let's see here.
121.
121,551.
Yes, that's today.
And then we've got way more to go.
Yep.
And if you look at page 5 on the proposal by Perceptive Controls, you can see that if we added it all up, and I don't have it all added up in front of me, but we're going to be significantly over budget on that original 5-year plan.
It's $614,520 to get it all, plus.
So what's happened is, first off, we quoted the 5 years as worst case scenario. You know, all the engineering time will be as if we were developing a new program for each and every one of our remote sites. the plan here is to just develop a template and move it from one site to the next. So we expect those costs to be significantly higher than where we're gonna be in the end. Now, can I come up here and tell you that? No. You know, so that's why I put this information in front of you. I do plan on having this system done in 3 years, not the 5. And again, we expect to see significantly less expense than what we've proposed here. Some of the things that have changed in 2 years, Opto Control, who supplies our hardware, the manufacturer of the hardware, it'd be similar to like a Rockwell system, if anybody knew programmable logic controllers. And they've came out with a new programmable logic controller, and we're gonna move forward with that. So that's added significant expense, because the new hardware obviously is gonna be more expensive. Things don't get cheaper for some reason, I don't understand. You know how that goes. And then, again, the engineering time is, in this quote, based on developing an individual well house program, but that's not the way we're gonna move forward. We're gonna use, we have 2 types of treatment. We have an older aerolator type of water treatment, and then we have a new pressure filter, which is a biological treatment. And this is going to redevelop the entire control strategy for those 2 templates. And then we'll just move forward. We've got 3 of the biological plants, and we'll basically use the template carbon copy, so there shouldn't be all that engineering time involved. There's gonna be some expense there. Again, we've updated our hardware to the latest and greatest, which will give us far more flexibility as far as integrating other systems and devices into our SCADA system, to where, you know, it's just far more advanced. So I wanted you to see this. I'm way off track from the original 2017 approval of the 333,000 or whatever, 332. And I figured you're probably going to have some questions, and I wanted to be able to come up here and answer them for you.
Well, I think the previous, what we started going with, which was the SNAP hardware, I think you explained earlier to me today, that the proprietary, they own that, so we can't really make any changes easily to that, correct?
That's correct.
And if we go to the Epic system, then we would be able to use any type of software that would give us more flexibility, more consistency, so that when people do move around, they don't have to learn like 3 or 4 different systems, they would only have to learn one.
Exactly, and that's the advantage to the template that we're developing, is it doesn't matter which plant you go into, it's going to be just like the plant you came from. So you don't have to learn 6 or 7 different plants. And, you know, that's been a problem in the past, and each one had its own little oddities on the way it functioned, and we're coming up with a standard here. This is going to be a standard across the board operating system. No matter which plant you go into, it's going to be represented exactly the same as the last one you came from. So it'll be a lot easier for the operator to deal with. Training of the operators will be much simpler on our side, that sort of thing. And as Kimberly said, this is a new system, is a completely open architecture type system. So we can actually use the Opto Control program that we're currently using, or we could use any number of softwares and tie into this. And we'll probably stick with the Opto because they do have the most flexible, and it's a true distributive control network as compared to a PLC or programmable logic controller. So, and as I expressed to Kimberly earlier, I would invite you, any of you, come out and see what we're up against here and see what we're dealing with. And this is our nervous system for everything that's going on in the township, you know, as far as water and wastewater is concerned. So it's kind of a very critical operating system. It is, you know, things that Waterford has been known for the last 20 years was their modern SCADA system when it was put in 20 years ago. Well, this will be the next level. We'll be back on leading edge. I'm not a big fan of the cutting edge because people get cut and they bleed on the cutting edge, but this will be leading edge. This will definitely be, very, very modern and offer all kinds of flexibility that we currently do not have in the SCADA system as far as data collection and things. So we should be able to save some money on engineering time and so on when we go into the, as we are looking for upgrades and things. We'll have data that most municipalities cannot provide.
And this is covered in the budget.
This is budgeted item, absolutely.
Anybody else have any questions for us?
My question is, when are we going to schedule that tour? I would be very excited to take you all and show you all of this, because it is an amazing process. And that goes for the public as well. I mean, anybody wants to come and see our tours. The Hess Hathaway Park is probably the most popular because it's the most modern. But other sites are very interesting too. Okay, they're interesting to me. I've been doing this for 30 years, and I get very excited about them.
But anybody who goes on a tour of those, let's say wastewater or water pump stations, it brings the kid out in you. It's like, you're like a kid again thinking, holy cow. So and who doesn't want to be a kid again for just even a short few minutes? That's, like I said, I've been to several of our stations and it's amazing the technology that we have and the way things work.
It is pretty amazing. Yes, no doubt about it. Very proud of our system, and we're continuing to move forward with putting in a new system that we can be proud of.
I'm looking at the water plants that we have. Why is the one at Lock Haven inactive?
What had happened was when they initially put that well in service, it, how do we say this, dried the swamp. And there was an influence between the groundwater and the surface water. So to move forward with utilizing that plant, we would have had to put in full treatment because surface water is completely different than groundwater. And once there's an influence between the two, meaning that the surface water somehow is getting through the clay block, basically, the layer of clay that isolates the surface water from the groundwater. Once that happens, then we lose that site. That's what happens
So
there.
that would never be activated.
Never be active. Luckily, when that happened, they just had the well in. They didn't have any treatment in that facility that ever was productive. So it was kind of a write-off.
Now, we said you had 12 active and 1 inactive. I only count 10 in there. I don't know what I got.
10 sites.
Yeah, David K, Gulfhill, and Ridgetown, Marion, West Huron, Preston. Williams and Main Street. The one that actually got this one, the one that I got this one, we got 2.
We have 2 sites. If you look on page, let's see, table 3 on page 7, like water treatment plant 25, 1 and 2, that's treated as 2 separate plants. And then 16 is another one where you have water treatment plant 16, 1 and 16, 2. Does that make sense to you, Tony?
That's okay, it's just,
Well,
yeah, I might be a little more, I'm looking at page 7 there, it said.
on table 3 there.
It sounds like one facility can have 2 different parts to it that need to be addressed.
Actually, those 2 sites have the old system, the old trickling or aerolator type water filter and a pressure filter.
Okay.
And, that's just, you've got both plants there, so
Right.
they count as 1 each.
And that's Hathaway's water plant, correct?
Hess Hathaway is a water treatment, and that is the biological process, that's the pressure filter.
Anybody else have any questions for Russ on this? Okay. Roll call vote.
Birch. Yes. Joliet.
Yes.
Bartolota.
Yes.
Markey, yes. Thomas.
Yes.
Wall.
Yes. Next, we have water main replacement engineering services.
I'll make a motion to approve Johnson and Anderson for the 2019 water main replacement engineering services.
I support.
Read with them, right, Karen, would you please?
Pardon? Oh, I'm sorry. In the amount of $49,500.
Okay, and they're for Calvert Avenue, Waterley Avenue, and Star Avenue from Voorhees to Fremont, all three locations. Anybody have further discussion? Okay, roll call vote.
Thomas.
Yes.
Wall.
Yes.
Markey, yes. Joliet.
Yes.
Birch. Yes. Bartolota.
Yes.
Okay, next we have a resolution approving liquor license transfer from 2553 Elizabeth Lake Road.
Mr. Wall,
Yes, sir.
I believe the resolution is a transfer of location and ownership, isn't it?
Yes, it is both. Transfer of ownership and location of 2018 Class C and STM liquor licensed business with Sunday sales permit from G. Craig Inc. at 1033 South Cass Lake Road, Waterford, to Sotai Inc. 2553 Elizabeth Lake Road, Waterford, Michigan, Oakland County.
I'll make a motion to adopt a resolution approving the liquor license and permit transfer of license and location.
Support.
Any further discussion on that?
I've got a question. This is between, I looked at Liquor Telegram, Scott Lake Road. Is that the old Applebee's restaurant?
Says right in this, says right in there, Applebee's restaurant. Page 2, back page. It's where you're reading from them, and then you go, yep. Yep.
That's the new, restaurant going in, okay.
Yep. So it's other closed buildings we get rejuvenated. Thank goodness.
Nice.
Okay. Anybody else? Questions? Okay, roll call vote.
Birch. Yes. Markey, yes. Thomas.
Yes.
Wall.
Yes.
Bartolota.
Yes.
Joliet.
Yes.
Okay, next, we have a citizen to address the board, Mr. James Hendon. Okay, Mr. Hendon's not here. Okay, that brings us to the end of our scheduled agenda. Now we will open it to public comment. The public is allowed to come up and speak, but there's a time limit of 3 minutes per person. So, is there anybody in the public who'd like to come up and speak at this time? There's an easy crowd tonight. Okay.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I'll support.
Any further discussion on that topic?